Greetings, my fellow travelers and the boys and girls at other games. This is Seneil Colony, and it has been at this for the last few weeks, month. I've had at least one visitor join the colony, and the population number did not go up. I just chose to pray for deliverance instead of praying for happiness, to get the Sentinel score down by 2%. It hasn't changed at all. So this is rapidly becoming exactly where I was with Winterhold. The only difference is the pond. I don't know in what universe this constitutes a pond, because it's a fucking above-ground pool. So, I'm curious as to what happens if I, decide to quit. Will it return to basically non-construction stage? So nothing has changed basically. Yeah, that's how I did it. Gonna delete that particular base and the other one on the other side in a moment. But before I do that, I want to remove these guys just in case. It would put me well over the 48 or so items that you can have in the former base cache. The one that looks like a... Well, hey, I'm right here. Might as well just... Base salvage capsule. All right. I'm still amazed that these things worked completely outside of water. And the number of items has not increased in some time. And the only thing I can think of is there's literally a finite amount of material or fish or resources you can, fish. And it certainly would be intriguing if you could set these things to fish giant squids in an area, wipe out the giant squid population, and from that point on not have to worry about giant squids fucking around with your base. But I digress. So let's have a walkthrough, a final time, so to speak. Yeah, I don't quite understand why the ship always lands here, the landing pad, from the settlement itself. That's the furthest away from the office, whereas there's one right behind the overseer's office. It's not a bad spot. There's a lot of things good for it. There's an electromagnetic hotspot over there. Somewhere behind the other nearby base, there is some other hotspot, if memory serves me right. Yeah, the not sufficiently mocked fishing pond. And yeah, there's a landing pad right behind. Now, I've added that to that particular building because that particular building is labeled as an environmental control thing, so this is meant to represent how it's controlling the environment. A bunch of vaults, storage containers. I still like the fact that the orange is much more a vibrant orange. Yes, I've installed some plants on top of, in this case I did more than install some plants. Installed a solar farm. Okay. There's the other marketplace, and behind it is, well, not the edge of the outer base. The edge of the outer base is somewhat behind us, but it's the edge of construction, so to speak. That took a wee bit of effort to place. I'll never understand when you pick up something, it literally changes its position, because picking up, here, and you just want to push it just that little bar there, bring it to just that line on the tiles, and the whole thing jumps all over the, about a foot distance. You basically have to start from scratch when you're trying to place stuff. Very frustrating. Oh, I saw a video clip of a game. I think it's beta right now for PCs, or early release for PCs, called Star Rupture. And, well, as far as building stuff, it puts No Man's Sky completely to shame. Well, no problem. Not available on console. Oh well. And we're back here. Yeah, I don't know if they'll disappear. Base computer is over there. Having said that, I am rather pleased with the bar. And even more pleased with the teleport ring, although it didn't quite work. The image of the ring and the physical representation are not quite aligned, so you literally have to bunny hop to get into, the teleport ring itself. So yeah, I mean, video games are meant to be a pleasant distraction. If I'm wasting my time grinding something, it's bad enough if there's some sort of slow improvement. But when there's no improvement, yeah. That is that, my fellow travelers. So, I've said this about Destiny in the past. Bungie slapped a coat of paint on the game and called it new. Well, here it's like, oh, we've given you cosmetic improvements on the game, and aren't you glad we improved it? Well, now if you told me it would take 6 months to build a settlement, but I'd be able to build it and finish it and hand it over to some geck overseer so I would get my revenue without having to contend with colonists having, fits, then yeah, okay, great. But no, this isn't civilization where, yes, you can sink years into building your civilization. You go from a mud hut to entire megapolises and nations and stuff. Where, yes, okay, you are sinking a lot of time in, but you are seeing constant progression of one type or another.
Product received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
Well, and with those words, my fellow travelers and the boys and girls at PoirierGaming, I wish you a fond farewell. Cheers.
This is the end, beautiful friend.